Howdy folks, Dave here. Well, here's another interesting story. Because it's raining outside, I thought, well, what the hell. I'm going to look up some hoaxes, and I found this one rather interesting. Um, this man by the name of Albert Osterman, uh, he's a former logger. Anyways, in 1957, this is quite a few years ago. Matter of fact, I wasn't even born yet when this happened. But, anyways, here's how it goes. According to Albert, in 1957, he was a former logger. Back then that's what people did. You were a logger, for the most part. But anyways, with the people saying about Bigfoot and all this other stuff, and the Yeti and the Sasquatch, all this, people come up with the weirdest thing, and of course Albert came up with his own story. Bigfoot. And he came forward with a strange story about he had been abducted by a Bigfoot back in 1924. Well, most of you people weren't even born yet in 1924. You're pretty old at 1924 to today. If you remember back in 1924, they didn't even have television. But anyways, Albert claimed that he had been on a prospecting holiday in Tova Inlet, British Columbia, when a Bigfoot carried him off and forced him to live with its family. Yeah, forced him to live with a Bigfoot family. Apparently, the Bigfoots wanted to use Albert for breeding purposes. But after 6 days, Albert had escaped. Albert's story went on with very credible instances. And the fact that he supposedly waited 33 years before telling it makes it even harder to believe. Even some prominent Bigfoot people dismiss his story as a tall tale. Well, back then, most people would lock you up for telling stories like this. Okay? I would. Or, you're the biggest bullshitter out there. But, yeah, if you can imagine back then, people didn't tell you what happened because they were afraid to. They didn't want to get locked up in some SEAL assignment, because of some bullshit story. But there you have it, folks. Albert was abducted and forced to live with a Bigfoot family. Wow. Some stories are out there to be found. People, do your investigating and look for some of these stories. They're quite amusing. Hey, subscribe to my channel. You'll find other good stuff like this. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.